Ireland has a long and rich history of craft and trade. Years ago, every village in the country would have had its own furniture maker, cooper, blacksmith and thatcher. This is brought to life in the National Museum of Ireland Country Living. Some of these past skills are among the most technical undertakings by man, using vernacular materials to survive against the daily, often brutally harsh elements. The working of these materials by a trained craftsperson resulted in not only functional but inspiring works of living art. It is from those examples and a longing to recapture a natural beauty of past times that has inspired this work. Thatching the roofs of houses is still practiced in Ireland today. However, only a tiny percentage of homes use this method. A thatched roof has a lifespan of between 20 to 40 years and can be costly to maintain. Many thatchers now use a longer-lasting Turkish reed, much to the displeasure of older, more traditional thatchers. Finding Irish estuarine reed is not easy. It is cut most abundantly on the banks of the Shannon around Limerick City. This is where our thatch comes from. Cut by hand from enormous fields of reed, it is rowed up the estuaries and stacked to dry on the banks. Our sheaves of thatch will be cut down to around a foot in length and then glued by the fistful into the wooden shell of the bench. The thatch itself forms the seat. In order to form the wooden shell, sheets of 1.5mm birch plywood are selected for flexibility properties. 12 sheets are packed on top of each other, glue is rolled onto each sheet and then bent around a custom former. A bend as tight as a pint glass can be achieved with 18mm wood this way. The former and the sheets are all placed into a vacuum bag. The bag is sealed on either end. 2 pumps will then suck the air from the bag. This pulls all the wood around the shape of the reinforced former. Several people sitting on top of the former provide the weight required to flatten the wood onto it, while others inspect every aspect of the process, ensuring everything runs according to plan. This is a difficult and crucial moment for the maker. The wood must replicate the former exactly. The wooden shell will then be coloured according to the design and finished by spraying on a lacquer. A steel plate will also be finished the same way and the shell anchored to this. A false bottom will then be built into the shell, allowing the thatch to stand on a flat surface rather than collecting at a point, as this would force thatch to be pushed out around the area being set on. The false bottom will be divided into troughs, so glue can be poured into compartments. This allows the thatching to be done in stages and will prevent the glue from setting before the thatch can be pushed into it. One of the most difficult operations is gluing the thatch to the side profile of the bench. This must give the impression that the thatch is just wedged into the bench shell and runs like this throughout the bench's entire length. To achieve this, hundreds of pieces of reed will have to be glued and placed into its own spot individually.